You're looking at a medal that was struck by the Loyal and Patriotic Society of Upper Canada for extraordinary instances of personal courage and fidelity in defense of the province in the War of 1812. And while they were never awarded, they showed the British lion protecting the Canadian beaver from the American eagle. And that's the Niagara River running between them. All in all, says the book I'm reading now, the Americans were surprisingly ineffective. One of their armies was led by a general too fat to ride a horse, and at Queenston Heights, militiamen stood on their constitutional guarantee and refused to advance into Upper Canada as ordered. The British had their share of luck, not least when Laura Secord heard American officers discussing their plans while eating at her house, and carried the word to them, to the garrison. Most settlers wanted to be left in peace. Farmers who had found cheap land and low taxes in the British colony were far from anxious to join the American Republic. At the start of the 1813 campaign, the invaders attempted to split the Canadas by taking Kingston, but first they attacked the easier target of York or Toronto and occupied the town, burned public buildings, and seized naval supplies. There were skirmishes in the Niagara Peninsula through the summer and fall of 1813. The Americans seized Fort George but were repulsed at Stony Creek and Beaver Dams. The burning of Newark, Niagara-on-the-Lake, by the Americans as they evacuated Fort George led to fierce British reprisals in Buffalo. On Lake Erie, naval victory by the Americans left the lake under their control for the rest of the war. The Americans again crossed the Niagara but failed to retake Fort George. On the dark night of July 25th, the tired forces met at Lundy's Lane within earshot of the falls in a bitter, confused skirmish that ended in stalemate. It's hard to think of us in war with Canada or Great Britain, but that's our history, and it's fascinating to read the history of your own country through the eyes of another culture, another country. In Canada, while we think of it as a mirror image of the United States, is actually a very different country with a very different history. And here I am. I'm reading that book. It's fascinating to read the history of another country next to you, or that your country has relations with, and to see that their way of life is similar, but it's almost like a parallel universe. It's what America would be if we were nice, or Canada would be like if well, you can speculate all you want about what it would be like, but take a look at another country's culture just for the heck of it.